Okay, so this is the video for section 1.3, operations on real numbers. This is the homework to go along with Monday's lesson. The homework was page 26 to 27, numbers 2 through 34 even, so I will be doing 1 through 33 odd. Okay, so we have negative 3 plus 8. Because the signs are opposite, we can do the trick, which says that if the signs are opposite, you take the smaller number, subtract it from the larger number, so we get 5, and then assign the sign of the larger number. The sign of the larger number is positive, so we just leave it positive 5. All right, here our signs are the same, so I want you to think about this like money. If I owe you $14, and then you loan me $10 more, so I owe you $10 more, then I end up owing you $24, so I am then $24 in the hole. It's just like if you were to add not sure what happened there. Anyway, if you were to add 14 and 10, since they're both negative, we're just going in the negative direction continuously. Okay, so we have the same sign, they're both negative, so you're going to add 6.7 and 4.3. So it's 10. So we have negative 11.0. Okay, here, opposite signs. We've got positive and we've got negative. So 13 minus 7 is 6, and our larger number is the 13. So we're going to take our sign of our 13, which is positive, and we're just going to leave it at 6. And I just looked in the book, and this is actually supposed to be 13 minus 17. So let's just cross that out and try that one again. 13 minus 17. Okay, so this makes a whole different problem. So now you say 17 minus 13 is 4, and 17 is the larger number, so you use the negative sign, and you end up with negative 4. That makes a whole different problem. Here we have 11 over 15 minus negative 3/5. So we are going to add a line, change the sign because it's minus a negative. So you're adding, we need a common denominator. So a common denominator between 15 and 5 is 15. So remember, it's bottom into bottom times top. So 15 goes into 15 one time. 1 times 11 is 11. Here, 5 goes into 15 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. So you keep your common denominator, and then you say 11 plus 9 is 20. And then this can be reduced. 20 over 15, they can both be divided by 5. So this becomes 4 over 3. And that's your answer. Now, when you are adding or subtracting multiple pieces, you need to go in order. So we're going to start, and we're just going to do these two first. So 19 minus 10, we know, is 9. And then we'll bring down the rest. Minus 11. We're done with this piece so far. Now 9 minus 11, they have opposite signs. 9 is positive, 11 is negative. So remember, we subtract just the numbers. So we get 2. 11 minus 9 is 2. And you take the sign of the larger number. 11 is the larger number, so we take the minus. Put the minus in front of it, and your answer is negative 2. Okay, here we have minus a negative again, so we're going to add a line, change the sign. So we have a negative and a positive, so we can use the rule if we want to. But first, we need to go ahead and make our common denominator. So I'm going to make our bones. So I put my negative here and my positive here. And my common denominator is going to be 10. 5 goes into 10 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8. 10 goes into 10 1 times. 1 times 3 is 3. So I'm going to say negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5 over 10. Keep your common denominator. And then you're going to reduce. This becomes negative 1/2 when I reduce, because both of these can be divided by 5. Okay? Now, if I'm going too fast, just rewind the video and watch that piece again. Alright, number 15 says subtract 14 from 8. So if I want to subtract 14 from 8, that means 8 minus 14. So because my signs are positive and negative, I can do the rule. So the rule says subtract the smaller number from the larger number. So 8 subtracted from 14 is 6. And then you want to take the sign of the larger number, which in this case is negative. So your answer is negative 6. Okay, now we're multiplying. So we're going to multiply first, and then we're going to deal with the signs. So 5 times 12 is 60. And then you have a negative times a positive. So a negative times a positive is a negative. Oops. So negative 5 times 12 is negative 60. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and multiply first. 17 times 0 is 0. You don't need to worry about the sign since it's 0, so you just leave 0. Okay, 0 divided by anything is always just 0, so you don't need to worry about the sign there. It's just 0, and you move on. Here, you're going to divide first, just the numbers. 9 divided by 3 is 3, and then you're going to deal with the signs. A negative divided by a positive is a negative. So negative 9 divided by 3 is negative 3. Okay, again, you're going to deal with the numbers first and then the signs. 12 divided by 4 is 3, and then a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So negative 12 divided by negative 4 is positive 3. Okay, here you've got a whole number multiplied by a fraction. So I'm going to make the whole number a fraction to make it look easier. And when you multiply fractions, remember, we just multiply straight across. So this becomes 3 times negative 1. I'm going to go ahead and assign that negative to the numerator. So 3 times negative 1 is negative 3 over 1 times 18 is 18. So now we're going to go ahead and divide. 3 divided by 18 reduces to 1 over 6, that's a funky 6, and leave your negative in the numerator. So it's negative 1/6. Okay. Now here you can just go ahead and punch this in your calculator, or you can go ahead and break it apart in pieces. You know 7 times 8 is 56. You know a negative times a negative is a positive. So you've got 7 times 8 is 56. You know a negative times a negative is a positive. And you've got 2 pieces behind the decimal place here and 1 piece behind the decimal place here. So you know there's going to be 2 pieces behind the decimal place. So you can just go ahead and say that it equals 0.56. And I honestly believe on the PERT you would get a calculator on that problem. Alright, here you've got 9.1 divided by negative 1.3. Again, I honestly believe you would get a calculator on this problem, but you can kind of break it apart. You know it's going to be negative because you've got a positive divided by a negative. Alright, you've got decimal places in both. So go ahead and punch it in your calculator. 9.1 divided by 1.3, and you're going to end up with, I believe, negative 7. Let me check the book really quick. Yes, sir, negative 7. All right, and last but not least, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do negative 4 times negative 2. That's going to give me positive 8. And then I'm going to take positive 8 and multiply it times negative 1. And that's going to give me negative 8. Or you could have done it how I did it in class today and ignore the signs. Just do 4 times 2 is 8, times 1 is 8, and then count how many negatives you have. 1, 2, 3. Since it's an odd amount, you know it's going to be negative. All right, that's all the homework for tonight. You guys have a great night, and I will see you in class tomorrow.